Yo guys, what's up? It's your man JK Primetime here. Seeing that the NFL games start up tomorrow, I basically want to give my predictions on this season's MVP. And so basically, I'm gonna give my four semifinalists that I have, and then after that, I'm gonna give at the end I'll give who I think will win it at the end of the season after everything's said and done. So first, we're gonna start with the defending MVP, Peyton Manning. He had a record-breaking season, breaking records in touchdowns in the season with 55 and passing yards in the season with 5,477. He had a 68.3 completion percentage last year and only 10 interceptions. So the only thing with Manning that would be more concerning, why I don't think he'll win, is two things, actually. One is that he's pretty high expectations after beating those records. So I feel like if he doesn't have a touchdown count in the mid 40s to 50, and basically if he doesn't replicate near to what he did last season, people will think it as a down year for him, so they won't pick him for MVP. Also, another thing is he lost one of the most productive receivers on his team in Eric Decker to free agency, because Eric Decker had over 1,000 yards. He had 80-some catches. He had a lot of catches. So he definitely loses another target, but he does have guys like Wes Welker, Demaryius Thomas, and Julius Thomas, so he doesn't lose too many weapons, but it's still a big blow for him either way. Next, we have Calvin Johnson. With last year, he had 84 catches for 1,492 yards and 12 touchdowns. The only thing with Calvin Johnson is that actually the year before last year, he broke the record for most receiving yards. I don't with about like 400 more than what he had last season. So basically, I feel like for him to be able to get it, he'll need to get around the same amount of catches, maybe even more, get near that mark he got 2 years ago, and stay with the touchdowns with 12. Because that year where he broke the record for receiving yards, he only had 5 receiving touchdowns. Another thing that's going to hurt Johnson's chances is the acquisition of Golden Tate in free agency, because that's obviously going to take targets away from him. But in some ways, it could help him because they won't be able to double team him, because Golden Tate, it's in a way who you want to let get the ball. Do you want to have Calvin Johnson 1-on-1 or Golden Tate? So it's weird because it could either help Calvin or hurt Calvin, and could do the same thing with Golden Tate. Next we have is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers last year had 17 touchdowns, only had 6 interceptions for 2,536 yards, and had 66.6 completion percentage. The only thing with Rodgers is that he had a small sample size, because he only played in 9 games last season because of a missed arrest due to a broken collarbone. Aaron Rodgers, I feel like he has won the MVP in the past, and I feel like he has the tool set to do it and enough talent around him to do it. So, and I think he'll bounce back, and he'll definitely be one of the people considered in the top 4 for MVP this coming season. Last but not least, we have Jamaal Charles. Now, Jamaal Charles, he had 259 rushing attempts for 1,297 yards and 12 touchdowns. And besides that, he had 70 catches for 693 yards and 7 touchdowns. So overall, he had 19 touchdowns and 1,990 all-purpose yards. Now, that's crazy stats, especially because he's basically like a running back wide receiver combo. He basically has better stats than some wide receivers do the whole season. What I feel like he'll need to do is, if he makes the same scoring impact touchdown wise, I feel like he just needs to up his rushing yards to about 1,500. If he gets the same amount of times, like 1,500, and have the so basically have to up his yardage basically to make more of an impact, to get more all-purpose yards. The only thing with Jamaal Charles is basically that he's in a handcuff right now, because the team added Jonathan Dwyer. So in some ways that could hurt him. Like if he gets hurt, Jonathan Dwyer could take in and do a very good job, and so they might take their time with him to take him getting back from the injury if he does have one, or just in general have a couple less carries, because Dwyer will be the second stringer, so they'll give him a couple carries each game. And now overall, I feel like the the consensus one in a way you would think would be like Aaron Rodgers because he's done it before. But I'm actually going to go with Jamaal Charles because I know there were some guys like LaShawn McCoy, maybe AP, but the only thing with AP is 2 years ago he had that record, he almost broke the record for rushing yards, and I feel like seeing that he did that and did that such a high efficiency, and he didn't even get close. He didn't even get he didn't get MVP. I feel like no matter what he do, he'll basically won't get it. The only thing is that I really choose Jamaal Charles is because he can run it and catch the ball. So I feel like if he puts high enough numbers in both of them, I feel like that he'll make enough impact for teams to go after him. If I had to do it realistically, I might say Rodgers out of those four because obviously quarterbacks are seen as a higher value and a higher, more impactful for a team than running backs or receivers, the other skill positions. So, but I'm still going to go with Charles either way because I feel like that with his dual threat of catching and running, that he'll make a big impact for the team. So that's my MVP predictions, my semifinalists, and my winner. So, go to the description, like my video, subscribe. Check my Twitter out. Share this video wherever. Share good insightful videos and other good stuff. And I'm out.